Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another brand new live stream. If you are tuning in during the recording, welcome, shout out to you. If you are watching this live, then hello and kudos. Hope you're doing well. Let me check on my channel here on my phone. Make sure we are live, make sure everything is going well. And yes, my friends, we are live. Here we are, welcome. If you are watching this in the chat, Mr. Cat, hello, you are always the first person here. I'm always very appreciative of that, so welcome, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Jacqueline, hello. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. And let me make sure that things are going according to plan. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Things are looking like they are going according to plan. So we are going to start this beautiful live stream. Welcome, Nothing to Do. Welcome, good to see you. Hello, Jay Hopsy. Hello, hello, hello. So we have finally established a way of doing these live streams consistently. And here we are for the second time today doing a live stream. We're going to be live streaming for the next 2 hours and sharing our peaceful energy, our calm energy, our orange energy. As you can see, I'm wearing an orange cloak. These are the kinds of clothes that I wish to wear more often. Meaning spiritual clothes. These are spiritual clothes. I am completely oranged out. My pants are orange. My shirt is orange. My robe is orange. And my turban is orange. Everything is orange. The only things that are not orange are my underwear and my socks, which we're going to get that sorted very soon. But outside of that, my friends, I definitely want to buy and wear more clothing like this, more attire that is of spiritual nature, because it helps me to communicate better. If you notice this, that if you wear clothes that are very loose and relaxed, and also of particular colors, your communication and your ability to perceive and feel the environment will become enhanced. And the opposite is true. If you wear tight clothing, like I'm wearing tight socks, on which I'm taking them off, then it will have the opposite effect. It will not give you any kind of insight or spiritual abilities. It will do the opposite. Especially if you are wearing clothing that is made out of synthetic ingredients, like polyester. Polyester is a clothing that needs to be thrown in the garbage and nothing else. It needs to be thrown away as quickly as possible. Similarly, with wearing different types of colored clothing, it also has an impact on your life. For example, you wearing orange clothing has one impact. You wearing white clothing, another impact. Yellow, brown, green, pink, purple, beige, black. They all have different energies to it, and they will impact you in a different way. The most important colors are light colors, the white color, the color white, blue, and black. So from my knowledge and understanding, from me studying Sadhguru, black is a color that you, generally speaking, do not want to wear ever, unless in very rare circumstances. When Sadhguru first mentioned that wearing black clothing is like inviting mental disease into your life, that is when I started paying attention. And you may think that is very extreme. I don't think that's very extreme. I think that is very appropriate. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the chat. Welcome, Miss M. Stanford Money. Good to see you here. I'm glad you're tuning into the show once again. So we will study what Sadhguru said about black clothing in just a little bit. But before we do, I want to see if I can recall my memory. That it's true, Sadhguru said that wearing black clothing is like if you want to invite mental disease into your life and not have mental stability and mental clarity and balance and just peace, then wear black clothing when you're out in public. That is a recipe for disaster. I think he also said that people would reduce the amount of mental illnesses they have inside of themselves if they just stopped wearing black clothing at inappropriate times. What is an inappropriate time? Well, anytime you're in public. But that's not the common knowledge of most people right now in the world. Most people are wearing black clothing because it looks cool or because it makes them look very slender and not fat. Well, it may give you some advantages in terms of fashion. Black color looks pretty cool, and it looks pretty cool on just about anybody, but you are going to experience serious downsides for the fact that black absorbs. Black is an absorbent color. As you can see, the statue behind me is made out of black. There's a reason for that. What reason is that? Well, we were going to have to ask Sadhguru to tell us the reasons for that. We don't really know. But hopefully, if you have any kind of spiritual knowledge and a deeper perception, you can see that black absorbs. We can also see this scientifically. If we put various colored clothing on you, white clothing, yellow clothing, blue clothing, and black clothing, all individual types in different days, and took you out into the sun, the darker colors would absorb way more heat, and we can measure this through an infrared sensor. But the light colors would not absorb so much heat. In fact, the color white would reflect almost all the heat, which will lead to you becoming cooler. So wearing white is the most sensible color to wear in summertime. And the opposite of that, wearing black clothing is the most sensible to wear in wintertime. But that's actually not true, because not only does the color black absorb temperature, it absorbs energy, all kinds of energy, from everybody, indiscriminately. So if you wear black and you walk around in the subway station, or you walk around in your local supermarket or on the city streets, you are absorbing energy from just about every Tom, Dick, and Harry. And that is not a good thing to do. That is not a wise thing to do. So don't do it. All right, let's read some of the chat before we continue. Shout out to Dr. Rob. Well, I'm sure we're going to do live streams with him. Shiva, do you eat eggs and milk? Yes, I eat milk from plants, plant milk, and I eat eggs that are vegan chocolate eggs. But no, I do not eat them from animals. No. True about colors. Blue is for communication too. Absolutely. We're going to touch upon blue. That's very important, and you gave it away. Much love from Sydney, Australia. Thank you very much from Sydney, Australia. I hope you subscribe. If you're new here, welcome. Black absorbs the sun and white reflects it. That is correct. Somebody says that I'm so smart. Aw, stop it. And hello. Don't wear black. Yes. So other colors like blue, for example, there's a reason also why businessmen wear blue. They wear blue. Why? Because, well, it works. Maybe this is just kind of superstition now in the business world. I'm sure people don't believe in chakras, the people that are out there making money and working on the stock markets and scamming people out of their life savings. But for whatever reason, this is the common knowledge, and it's stuck around that you wear blue for communication. Does this mean that the general public has some kind of sense or a wisdom as it relates to deeper aspects of life? Well, no, because I didn't until I started paying attention to wiser men. But the answer is no, because If you look at a person going to a funeral, what do they wear? Do they wear a sensible color like white? No, they wear black. Why? Because you're supposed to represent that you're very sad. Oh, I'm very sad, so I'm going to wear black. Oh, black is sad. Oh, I'm so sad somebody died. God forbid you show up to a funeral wearing white. You're going to get dirty looks. What is this person? Not sad this person died? What a disrespectful individual. Come on. So that's wrong. And what if you are not sad that the person died? Maybe even they're your close relative. Okay, maybe you should, you feel sad naturally, but maybe sometimes you don't feel sad because the natural course of action has taken place and your family member died, and that's just nature. What is there to feel sad about? Do you feel sad when a plant decomposes? Oh, I feel sad. Well, if you get attachment to plants, then maybe you do. Anyways, I feel sad, and I felt sad when my grandfather died, so shout out to me and shout out to my grandfather. But life is about having wisdom, and crying for the natural cycles of life is not sensible either. It's like, oh yeah, daytime, woohoo, we're happy, and then nighttime comes, oh, I'm gonna be sad. That's insanity. Okay, that's just natural cycles of life. Just you can bear with it. So that is not a sensible color to wear in funerals. So, but for whatever reason, businessmen wear blue because why? Blue enhances the throat chakra, the throat center. The throat center is blue. And blue represents power. So as Sadhguru says, this man you see behind me, you can become powerful in so many different ways, and not just in terms of money or influence over others. Powerful in your own human nature, right here, in the communication center. So business people also want to enhance their communication abilities. That's why they wear blue, because it flowers the throat chakra. Ironically enough, just because you wear blue doesn't mean your throat chakra is going to become enhanced or active even. Maybe it'll give you some boost in terms of your ability to communicate, but then we would see people in business having all sorts of blossomed throat chakras, which we don't see. Why? Because the throat chakra makes you very weird. And it takes a lot of work to blossom. Not just you're going to wear blue clothing and your throat chakra is going to become blossomed and you're going to be an occult master. That's not likely. So let's read the chat. By the way, we have a subscriber metric here. 12,630 subscribers. We just gained 1 subscriber. Thank you very much for whoever subscribed. My eyes are blue, Edward Mitchell says. Shout out to you. We got another subscriber. Fantastic. There's a time for celebration. Shout out to Sound of Sound. Still confused. Still hasn't changed his energy. But I'm here for you, my friend. He's calling me a culture vulture. Oh no. Oh no. What am I going to do? This guy hasn't worked a day in his life and don't shoot into his wisdom. The snake will. Okay. And if you're going to continue spamming, looks like I'm going to have to time you out for another 24 hours because you have not learned your lesson. And Sound 71, you are also subscribed. We got another subscriber. Shout out to you. I love you. Okay, Sound of Sound, it looks like you're getting timed out for another 24 hours, my friends. No, I'll do 30 minutes. So we'll see you back here in 30 minutes. Please look in the mirror. Please improve your positive energy. And please relax. We got another subscriber, 12,633. All right, let's see the people that subscribe. I'm sure they're leaving comments. Somebody says that no one's listening. There's quite a few people that are listening here. You said use logic a lot in the last video, yet you haven't defined the 3 laws of logic. What are the 3 laws of logic? That's very interesting. Is there such a thing as 3 laws of logic? That is a very curious thing that I would like to investigate. Maybe we'll investigate it together, shall we, my friends? Shall we? Because why? I am here to learn. I am here to learn. I'm here to grow. That's what I want to do. And I'm not here to be right. I'm here to grow and to learn. So let's see if we can learn what the 3 laws of logic are. What are the 3 laws of logic? The 3 fundamental principles of classical logic, traditionally attributed to Aristotle, are the law the law of non-contradiction, the law of excluded middle, and the law of identity. I have no idea what that's interesting. Okay. So the law of identity states that things is identical to itself. A is A or A equals A. Law of non-contradiction states that contradictory propositions cannot be both true and the same time. And law of exclude. Okay, anyways, this is a little bit too intellectual for me, and I'm not interested in being intellectual. I'm interested in practical things that work. So shout out to Aristotle that drank poison because he thought it was wise to fight for your beliefs, even though probably his belief was stupid, and he killed himself for it. Shout out to him, okay? When I first heard that in philosophy class, and somehow was supposed to applaud Aristotle for dying for his beliefs, I would never die for my beliefs. Hello? Unless it was something serious, like, I don't know, increasing life for everybody. But if the Muslims, shout out to the Muslims, came to me and said, hey, are you gonna choose to be this, or we have a little, little instrument right here to surprise you? Then I'll be like, oh, I'm the best person like this. Okay, why? Because my survival is primary to whatever little logical things I can change afterwards. So I'm here to survive first, not think that I'm gonna die for my beliefs. Who dies for their beliefs? I'm sure there are some beliefs that I would die for, but and honestly, I don't know. I don't know even. I don't know. I've never been put in that situation. I'm just ranting here. Okay, so shout out to me. Okay, let's see what other comments we have here. The fact that you lose logic but don't know through logic tells me everything I need to know. You must have learned the word. Okay, so that your comment tells me everything I need to know because some useless definitions of logic. I don't know the definitions of things. I know how to use them. Okay, so I don't know where the hammer came from, but I can hammer in a nail. How about that? How about that for you, for your logic? And I know logic enough not to abuse animals, and animal abuse is bad. Shout out to elementary school, which is basically a prison, and I never want to go to elementary school again. Well, I won't, obviously, but I will not put my kids through elementary school either. So, shout out to the prison systems of schooling. Welcome to the new subscribers. We've gained over 6 subscribers in this live stream. Thank you so much for subscribing, and please let me know if you're here. I'll happily answer your questions. That's a very dapper mustache. Thank you. Keep going, Shiva. We love you. Appreciate that, William. I think Mausoleum say no compulsion force you. Okay. So I just watched some Instagram reel of a Christian that decided to turn to Christianity in Egypt. So he's in Egypt. He was a Muslim, and he thought to himself, you know what? I want to be a Christian now. He became a Christian, and the Muslims went after him. They're now prosecuting him, and he's potentially facing the death penalty. If that was me, unless I strongly felt that if I pursue this, I would get closer to God, and really Jesus was telling me, no, stay firm, then I would stay firm. But otherwise, oh, sorry guys, I'm just kidding. I'm actually a Muslim. Inside of my mind, what my faith is, that's up to me. But I'm here to survive. I'm not here to die. Are you sure you're not a Muslim? Are you sure you're not a Christian? Oh, I'm not Christian. I hate Christianity. I'm going to be a Muslim to save my life. Hello? Your life is the most valuable thing to you. So anyways, shout out to Aristotle and shout out to all the Christians and Muslims. All right. What's next, my friends? What's next? As I've said, black color absorbs everything. You do not want to wear black. And shout out to me, because I have not worn black in public for years. Here and there, I have some black t-shirt, or not t-shirt, but black kind of sweater. I occasionally wear. It's very convenient and comfortable. It's a plaited, so white and black. That's as far as I'm gonna go. But the past history of me going to the store, the clothing store, and finding some kind of black clothing and putting it on and thinking I'm gonna buy this is just a goner. That's not happening ever again. Neither pants, nor socks, nor even underwear, nor shirts, nor hat, nor sweater, no jacket. If it's black, I would want to stay away from it. Why? Because black absorbs energy, and I don't want to make my life more difficult than it already is. My life is not difficult, but I can make my life a lot more difficult by just doing the wrong things. So, no more black, no more wearing black clothing. If you have black clothing, don't believe what I'm saying. Experiment, feel it out, use your intuitive abilities and your intuitive powers. So that's as far as black color is concerned. When it relates to white, there's a reason why yogis wear white. They wear white clothing, especially different types of yogis, because it reflects everything. You're able to walk through the world very easily. It bounces everything off, including the weather, including the heat. So people's intentions, people's energies, the energy of your environment, it just doesn't come in contact with you. And when you wear white, I know this personally from experience, when I wear white for a long time, meaning white everything, and then I just go home now, time to relax, and I take it off, whew, I feel good. I feel easy. So it's a very, very positive thing. Okay. Can you tell us what is the most interesting thing Sadhguru has said to you? Sadhguru has never said anything to me personally. And there's thousands of things that Sadhguru said that's very interesting to me. So that's one of them, about the color. So that's what I'm sharing with you now. Hello, DNA. Welcome. Hello, hello. Hello, Steph and Faith. Welcome. All right, somebody's spamming about Jesus. Shout out to Jesus for dying. What's the most important thing to do when trying to change your perspective on something? The answer is not to think that you're right, and also not to think that you're wrong, just having an open mind and not making conclusions about life. But if you know that you have to change your perspective on something, then you're pretty much the entire way of the way there. There's nothing else for you to do. That's how I see it. So, are you asking about changing your perspective on eating animals and going vegan? Because that's what you should do. You forget to start the stream with his quote of the day. So, today's quote was already read, but we will read that quote again. Do you know anything about Sai Baba? Not really. Your hair looks lovely today, Shiva. Thank you very much. That means a lot coming from a girl. Bro is doing the best business in India. I'm in Canada. Do you have a brass lamp? Yes, I do. We are offering spiritual lamp for $99. Okay, good job. Good job. I would like to continue on, my friends, and share with you some insightful in ideas. I'm realizing that having a lack of light is really impacting me, and I would prefer to have more light somehow, but that's not going to happen in this live stream. What about money, my friends? Do you like money out there? Do you need money to survive and to live? If you say yes, then shout out to you, okay? Because everybody needs money, and there's nothing wrong with liking money. Why would you not like money? Money pays for your food, it pays for your shelter, it pays for your livelihood. Except when you're supposed to be spiritual. Because when you're supposed to be spiritual, then you shouldn't need money. Of course, people, I'm sure, will admit that if you're spiritual, you need water. Like I have water here, I drink. Okay, water, delicious. You also need food when you're spiritual. I have some Canadian sunflower seeds, very delicious, and other food. You need clothing, like I have clothing here, I'm wearing. You need shelter, I am in a shelter. You need medicines occasionally if you get sick. I have some medicine that's available to me. But to acquire these things, you're supposed to just, I don't know, pick it out of the clouds. But definitely you're not supposed to talk about money. And I don't know why that is. Why is that? Maybe somebody can educate me. Why can't money and spirituality mix? Maybe we will ask ChatGPT. What do you think? Money sucks. The pursuit of money maybe sucks, and the acquisition of money and the rat race to acquire money sucks, but you would not say money sucks if someone just dropped $1 million into your house. You would say money is quite great. So, yeah, because of greed. Can I ask what the orange cloth is for? The orange cloth is to stabilize my mind and to increase my perception. Money is a false god. Money is interesting. So let's Google why money and spirituality don't mix very well. Shall we? Yes, we shall. Why don't money and spirituality not actually, no, this is not what we're going to do. We are going to do it in a different way, in a better way. Why don't money and spirituality mix very well?
That's a really interesting question, and it's one that people have debated for a long time. Often the idea is that spirituality focuses on inner peace, meaning, and selflessness, while money is tied to materialism, accumulation, and sometimes even greed. This can create a tension because the values that drive each can sometimes conflict. However, it's definitely possible to find a balance where money supports spiritual growth as long as it's used mindfully. It really depends on personal perspective and intentions.
So, can a spiritual person earn money through spiritual work? And why do so many people have a hard time to acknowledge that?
Absolutely. A spiritual person can earn money through spiritual work, like teaching, coaching, or creating content that helps others. The challenge often comes from the perception that spirituality should be detached from material gain. There's sometimes a belief that charging money might compromise the authenticity or purity of the spiritual practice. Additionally, societal norms and cultural expectations can make it tricky to navigate that balance. But many successful spiritual practitioners do find ways to integrate both, and it's definitely possible to do so authentically.
Hmm. Very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Money is the root of all evil. I don't. Rob, answer me. I don't think money is the root of all evil. I think that greed maybe is the root of all evil. Hmm. So, yeah, money. Money is very good. Let me ask ChatGPT another question. Can a spiritual person pursue material wealth and well-being, like having a nice house and a car and all the material needs that a person requires?
Yes, absolutely. There's nothing inherently contradictory about a spiritual person enjoying material wealth or well being. The key is often in the mindset and the intention behind it. If material possessions are seen as tools for greater well being, comfort, and the ability to help others, then they can align with spiritual values. It's more about balance and not becoming overly attached to those possessions. Ultimately, a spiritual path can certainly coexist with material prosperity as long as it's approached with mindfulness and wisdom.
Hmm. I think that pursuing material well-being is very important. Not as important as pursuing spiritual well-being because spiritual well-being triumphs everything, and material well-being can be taken away from you at a moment's notice. Spiritual energy or well-being really can't be taken away from you no matter what happens. Even if a tornado comes and sets your house on fire and takes your house away, actually, your spiritual insight, liberation, energy inside of you cannot be taken away. But your physical aspects can be taken away very easily. You can be a multi-billionaire and you're a few accidents away from losing it all. Maybe even one accident away, getting robbed or getting sued or just going crazy and spending it all or something else happening and that all being poofed into flames. Yet, I know that the material aspect of life is important, extremely important, very, very important. In fact, yeah, it's very, very important. You know, I would, if I had access to resources, I would build myself a castle and live in a castle. Very nice, thick, sturdy walls made out of granite stone, very highly energizable. A moat, and maybe on top of a cliff overseeing the ocean. That's maybe going a little bit too far, but that would be a nice home for, just a kind of a vacation. Um, but no, that's going a little bit too far. We need material aspects, my friends, to live. And it's only because of our advancement of using tools in today's day and age that we have made our survival so easy. And because our survival is so easy, spiritual growth can start to flourish. So, 1,000 years ago, when the most important thing for you to do is to go plow the lands, and if you don't plow the lands, you're going to die, then doing spiritual work and doing things that are a little bit more altruistic wouldn't be really possible because you have different priorities. Also, 1,000 years ago, you would have to take a big bucket and walk 2 kilometers to the nearest river to take water to take back home with you just to drink. And forget about washing your hands or showering. That's a luxury. So now we have all these luxuries, and now this gives us the ability to pursue deeper aspects of life. Also, on top of this, the more our material aspects of life get handled, meaning the machines do all the work for us and the cost of living goes down and the need for jobs pretty much goes away to a large extent, the easier it is for us to live on this planet. Not in terms of course, obviously the physical aspect, but also the spiritual aspect. Because right now I live in a house, things are very comfortable for me. This gives me the freedom to pursue higher things. Without this ability, it would not be so easy. So I can't wait for AI to take over. I can't wait for these things to take over the people's jobs and the cost of living to go down, the cost of food to go down. People have some universal basic income. And then you'll just be in your room thinking, well, what do I really do with my life? What's this all about? Why am I really here? What is worthy of me doing? Some people are going to go really crazy. Some people won't be able to handle that or won't know what to do with that. Some people are going to try to destroy other people's lives and really go into crime and taking narcotics and drugs because that is also a way to kind of cope with your mind. But some people will also do incredible things, phenomenal things, because then and only then will you have the ability to do so. Right now, most of our energy is preoccupied with doing menial tasks, just going to work, getting a job, paying for your life, paying for your food, and paying for a place to sleep. That's madness, okay? We should handle that on planet Earth so that when we bring children into this world, don't worry, little Timmy, don't worry, little Billy. From now until the rest of your life, you'll always have a place to sleep and you'll have food on the table. You just go and figure out what to do with this amazing life that been given as a human being. Because animals, they're fixed between two lines. As a human being, there is no top line. There's only a bottom line, as Sadhguru says. Wise words of wisdom from Sadhguru. So, let's see what the chat is saying. Who's going to Afghanistan with me to meet our Shiva fellow? I'm not in Afghanistan. That is a dangerous place. Dude said Shiva's Afghanistan, you're miles off, lad. Yep. I'm in Canada, Canada, Canada. I am a monk. Shout out to me for being a monk. I am a spiritual monk, not a monk by tradition. No one ordained me. No one came to me and said, okay, now you're a monk. Now you follow these rules. I'm a monk by my own choices. I live like a monk. I dress like a monk. I behave like a monk. I think like a monk. And I dream like a monk. Okay? So I knew this from an early age, even after I visited many Buddhist monasteries. Shout out to Dr. Rob. I'm sure this is going to pain him to hear. Maybe he's lurking in the chat. He oftentimes does that more than you know. Lurking in the chat, listening to what I'm saying, and then using it against me. Shout out to him. So when I was in Buddhist monasteries, I visited many Buddhist monasteries in the world. I knew that I really couldn't become a monk in this lifetime. I was a Buddhist monk in the past life. Shout out to me for seeing my past life. But in this life, I knew that it wouldn't be appropriate. It wouldn't be sensible, and that energy kind of repelled me away from that. And rightfully so, because being a monk is hard work. It's like a tightrope walk. You have to be very balanced. And it's a training. So the training has been done to a large extent. And now is, what does it matter if I take off all my clothes and put on robes or just wear regular clothes? It only matters in the concept of your own mind. So I put on these robes to do these live streams because it works. I'm able to communicate better. That's primarily the reason why. And also the aesthetics of it and whatever. That's besides the point. So a monk is someone that lives the life of a renunciate. That is how we define a monk. Does that mean that you renunciate in a way that you starve yourself or you become very strictly ascetic? It can be that way if you're really severely training, but this has been very properly described by Sadhguru. Sadhguru is the man you see here. He owns a YouTube channel, 12 million subscribers. Go subscribe. Sadhguru says that yogis are not against pleasures of life. They're not against you giving up chocolate or smoking cigarettes or having sex or drinking alcohol or doing X, Y, and Z. Yogis are against those small pleasures. And they are small pleasures. Yogis are for the pursuit of large pleasures. There's nothing wrong with you smoking cigarettes or drinking alcohol or paying animals to be abused and eating their corpses. Those are tiny pleasures. They're small compared to learning how to use your pineal gland and release the secretions of your pineal gland in a way that makes you blissful and ecstatic simply by you doing nothing, by you changing your own inner chemistry, by you changing your brain, influencing your brain, making your brain work the way that you want it to work, influencing the chemistry inside of this brain and body, making your own chemistry that you want. Wow. Fantastic. Fantastic. So that's what yogis are in pursuit over. Are they here going to shun you? Oh, you're eating chocolate and you think that's going to make you happy? No, God's going to punish you. No, it's just a small pleasure. It's just a tiny little thing. It's not going to lead to anything. So it's like, you're an adult, but you still ride a tricycle because you don't know anything else. That's just the only thing that you've seen is riding a tricycle. You've not seen anything else. You've not experienced anything else. There are men, yogis, that are driving BMWs. It's way faster than a tricycle. And if a yogi turns to you and sees you driving a tricycle, it's like, buddy, I'm not against that, but it's very limited, Look, take a look at what I'm driving. But here you are. No, it doesn't exist, and I don't believe you, and I want to continue abusing animals and eating their corpses. No. That's you, okay? So we're not here for that. We're here to become wiser. And that's what a yogi sacrifices. That's what a yogi that's the kind of asceticism that he takes on. He just stops using the small pleasures. That's all that there is. Not because of conscious will, but because he sees that it doesn't work. Like, for example, eating chocolate or drinking wine or watching TV or going out and sleeping around with people. Those are all pleasurable things. Yogis aren't against pleasure, but it's just that. It's just pleasure. It feels nice for the body for some time. Sometimes you indulge in it. Sometimes you overindulge. And as we all know, my friends, overindulgence in pleasure, it doesn't feel too good afterwards. Not because God is punishing, oh, how dare you sleep around with those women? How dare you eat that chocolate? No, because you overstimulate your dopamine receptors, then things kind of become very dull. In fact, let me not make things up. Let me ask the most, the highest IQ thing in the universe. Hey, ChatGPT, compare yourself to a human being, like a genius IQ is something like 150 or something like that. I don't really know. But if you had to show your IQ, what IQ would you have?
That's a fun thought. The concept of IQ is really designed for human cognitive abilities like reasoning, problem solving, and pattern recognition in the human context. AI, including myself, doesn't really fit into that framework because we process information in a completely different way. In fact, AI can
Okay,
help.
okay. So let's hypothetically imagine that you were a human being, and hypothetically, what kind of IQ would you have? Give me a number.
Got it. Hypothetically speaking, if we try to translate AI capabilities into an IQ score, it would probably be off the charts since AI can process vast amounts of data and perform complex calculations at incredible speeds. In a purely theoretical sense, it could be in the range of 200 or more. But it's important to remember that IQ is a human metric and
Okay, okay. So this is basically double any genius on the planet Earth, the most intelligent thing that we've created. And people, oh, ChatGPT, shut up. Are you stupid? People are saying, imagine, I don't know, 50 years ago when the calculator first came out and it was the most incredible, accurate thing in the world. And there's some naysayers, oh, you're using a calculator. Don't you know that it all, shut the hell up. You're stupid, okay? Go on your tricycle, go on your little bicycle and ride to work. And don't use a car because technology is bad, right? You freaking buffoon. Don't be stupid. Anyways, that I forgot what I was going to ask it. Okay, yes. Okay, ChatGPT. So, tell me why overindulging in pleasure is wrong. Not in a moral sense, but just wrong because either it hurts or it doesn't work. Tell me about overindulgence in pleasure.
absolutely. Overindulgence in pleasure can often backfire because it tends to create a sort of diminishing return. When we constantly seek out pleasure without balance, our brain's reward system can become desensitized, making it harder to find satisfaction in simpler, healthier pleasures. Over time, that can lead to negative consequences like physical or mental health issues, reduced motivation, and even a lack of
Okay,
fulfillment.
tell me about the brain chemistry. How does that relate to brain chemistry? You said that it desensitizes you to pleasure over time. Explain that more in terms of dopamine and the brain receptors and the chemistry side of things.
Sure. When we engage in pleasurable activities, our brain releases dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter that makes us feel pleasure and reward. Over time, if we keep seeking out intense pleasures, our brain's dopamine receptors can become less sensitive. This means that the same activity no longer produces the same level of pleasure, and we might need more of that activity to feel satisfied. This process is known as tolerance. Eventually, this can lead to a kind of dopamine fatigue where it's harder to experience joy from everyday activities, and that can affect mental health and overall well being.
Hmm. Very interesting. Very interesting. So your brain becomes desensitized to the pleasure. Trying to get some kind of satisfaction or deeper meaning in life from pleasure is like trying to fill a cup with an empty bottom with water. It's not going to do much. Maybe it'll touch the rims of the cup, but that's as much contact as it's going to make. All the water is going to fill out or be lost on the bottom. Similarly, if we overindulge in pleasure, like for example, we eat a lot of chocolate or we drink a lot of alcohol or we have a bunch of sex, the neurotransmitters that are responsible for the pleasurable aspects of life, if they're overstimulated, they get dulled. They become desensitized. Then, when you're just living out your regular life, not stimulating yourself with chocolate or dopamine or sex, it'll become harder for you just to feel a normal sense of pleasure by doing regular activities. And naturally, a kind of a depression sets in. So, overindulgence in pleasure is dangerous, even because, well, that leads to a lot of bad consequences. All right. Thank you. Thank you for the gift, by the way. Appreciate that. If you want to send a super chat, all super chats are text to speech. All super chats are text to speech, meaning that your question will be said out loud by the AI and it'll be fantastic. Okay. Next, my friends, I want to show you something. I think that you're going to find this very interesting. I found this very interesting when I first saw it, and we're going to watch it together. This is relating to a particular thing that human beings sometimes do, and I think you know what this means. All right, so let's watch. What 20 survivors all had in common. Here we go.
Kill rate for the Golden Gate Bridge is 99.8%. They looked at 10,000 jumpers. They had 20 people, right? They interviewed these people individually and separately. They asked them 3 questions. First questions. Are you glad that you survived? Now, mind you,
So these are people that go off the Golden Gate Bridge, just for your context.
many of these people were quadriplegics, paraplegics, and many of them disabled for the rest of their life. 100% of them answered, yes, I'm glad. Number 2, do you think, based on just the information you had then, that it was a mistake for you to jump off the bridge, just with what you had then? 100% of them answering individually said yes. And the third question, when did you first realize that it was a mistake? And a lot of people think, yeah, when I woke up quadriplegic, whatever. Not true. Every single person answers the moment my feet left the bridge. So you do not know what's going on in that person's mind. If they took that overdose, they did all that stuff. You don't know what's going on, but God can still reach them.
Right. He is the master of closing conversation.
Amen.
Wow. Shout out to that video. So I've seen this video a few times. Just see what the chat is saying. Okay, good. All right. So I watched this video a few months ago, and this idea really struck me that the moment that a person decides to leave their feet off of the bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge, and saying goodbye to the planet Earth, you also have to assume what kind of, anyways, we're going to get back to that. So the moment they leave the bridge, instantaneously they realize this is a mistake and I regret doing this. That kind of clarity is not seen by people beforehand. I have some ideas and some theories about this because, doing something so intense naturally gives you a lot of clarity. And it's a decision that can't be turned around. So, yeah. I've known people that have done this, not in the Golden Gate Bridge, but somewhere else, particularly one person that really had a troubled life and a troubled past, and unfortunately he did some things about that. This doesn't just happen because you decide to quit. Logically, this happens because you're dealing with a lot of pain. And just a little quick public service announcement. This is generally speaking, almost always or even always, not a good thing for you to do. You will regret it. And yeah. So instead of you doing that, seek some intense experience like you going skydiving, you're going bungee jumping, and that intensity will hopefully give you clarity on the problems that you need to solve in your life. Yeah. So that is it. All right, we will now see the comments. No. What is the statue behind me? The statue behind me is Shiva, the first yogi. So shout out to you if you're going live. Cool. This is a statue of the person that brought spirituality into existence to a large extent, or yeah, pretty much that. So that is what that is. See you later if you're going live. Okay. We are going to be live streaming for approximately another 1 hour and 10 minutes. A real person or no, he was a real person. Yes. And he was alive a long time ago. So we are grateful for him to share his spiritual knowledge and insight as it relates to the human being and how to transcend the human limitations. So that is what I know about Shiva. I've been told if you are capable of feeling that sad, you'll be able to experience feeling happy in your life. Absolutely. Somebody says that they cannot live without consuming milk. That is, do not sell yourself short, okay? Because you're a human being, you're capable of a lot of things. Of course, you can live without milk. Hello. And also, the milk industry is the animal abuse industry. So this is where your milk comes from. Look at those gigantic veins. And this machine needs to be plugged into the cow. The cow does not have a good life in these factories. Although this video is very pleasant seeing. This is not... Let's see if we can see some animal abuse. So the cow gets impregnated by the human being because you want milk. So milk is a product of rape. Oh, here we go. So this is a baby cow that was born. And of course, we can't allow the baby cow to be next to its mother because it's our milk, not the baby's milk. This is illegal. This should be illegal. It is immoral. We should not support the milk industry. And here is a farmer taking away the baby because, after all, it's our milk. The mother cow cannot drink our milk. We have to take the baby away. And the mother, of course, cries because it's the baby. And a protest. And look, I mean, mother is not going to easily give up the child. So, but hey, anything for our milk, right, guys? Am I right? And let's look at the dairy industry for genetically modifying cows way past their natural state of being just to overproduce milk because it's a product. It's a product. Right, guys? Am I right? And here is your milk. Hey, why don't you just put a coffee cup right next to that and start drinking? Look at that. That's your milk. Come on, guys. The milk is going away. Put a coffee cup underneath that. Come on, guys. Hopefully, you're starting to see how insane that is. How insane that is. Yes. So go vegan. That is the appropriate response. Go vegan right now. Is me still drinking my mom's breast milk at the age of 46 considered vegan? If we're talking about the ethical considerations of veganism, I would say yes. If your mom happily, I mean, that's, you're way past the time for breastfeeding, but if that's your prerogative, then you do that. Of course, we would think that's very weird, right? If a 46-year-old man is drinking his mother's breast milk still. But we don't have to look far for how weird it is for you to drink another species of breast milk, a cow's milk. You're lactating, the cow lactates in your mouth. That's weird. I saw so much expired milk in the dumpster behind Shoppers yesterday. It's disgusting and gross. Yes, go vegan. I have almond milk and it tastes great. Yes, almond milk is the way to go. Almond milk. So that is how cow's milk is produced. It's produced by, abusing animals. Let's see how almond milk is produced. I'm sure there's lots more abuse in with the almonds, right? Right, guys? You take some almonds, some water, uh, toss them in a blender. You blend them up, you strain it, and it looks like you got some almond milk. Wow, amazing. And nobody had to suffer and die for that. Cool, cool. But I could never drink that. That's extreme. Eating nuts is extreme. It's weird. I'd rather suck a tit from a cow. Gross. Almonds are water-intensive crops, and the cultivation of almonds strips the land. That is not something I agree with. Let's do some research. How resource intensive is growing almonds? We are going to educate ourselves, my friends. We are going to educate ourselves because that's what I'm here to do. What the hell, lady? Okay. This is why almond trees look like this. 1 year of growing almonds. I'm not sure what almond shaking the tree. All right, looks like we're not going to be able to find a video easily, so we will do one thing that's better. We will ask a super genius with a 200 IQ. Shall we? Yes, we shall. Hey, there's somebody telling me that drinking almonds or eating almonds is very, it's not the best thing for the environment because apparently it is very very thirsty crop. So tell me about almonds. How much of an environmental impact does it make? And is it possible to grow almonds that just, normally without the damaging aspects to the environment?
Absolutely. Almonds are indeed known for being water intensive. For example, it can take roughly about a gallon of water to produce a single almond. This becomes a significant issue in areas that are prone to drought, like California, which is a major almond producer. The environmental impact also includes concerns about soil depletion and the impact on local ecosystems. That said, it is possible to mitigate some of these environmental impacts. For instance, more sustainable farming practices can help, like using drip irrigation to reduce water waste, choosing drought-resistant almond varieties, and implementing more efficient farming techniques. Additionally, some growers are exploring regenerative agriculture to improve soil health and reduce overall environmental impacts.
Okay.
It's definitely possible to grow almonds more sustainably, but it requires careful management.
Okay, so that's cool. So it seems like it's possible to grow almonds, but we have to kind of solve some issues like depleting the soil and becoming a little bit more intelligent. Fine. But, I really want to eat a steak, but I don't want to cut the head off of a cow. So how can I eat a steak without killing the cow? And do not tell me about the solutions of plant-based and lab-grown meat. That's just out of the question. I want to eat steak, but I don't want to kill a cow. What's the solution there?
That's a really intriguing question. One possible approach that's being explored is what's known as compassionate ranching. This involves techniques where cows are raised in a way that allows them to live out their lives and still provide meat through regenerative practices. For example, some farms use methods that allow for the ethical harvest of certain cuts while ensuring the animal's well-being. Another possibility is the concept of regenerative agriculture, where the cow's presence actually contributes to the ecosystem and the
Wait. I'm not sure you understand what I mean. Your IQ is severely going down. I'm not sure you're such a super genius after all. I want to eat a steak, but I don't want to shoot the cow in the head. How do I do that?
I get what you mean. In that scenario, one approach is the idea of sustainable harvesting, where, for example, some farms use techniques to collect meat from the animal without necessarily killing it, or using methods like ethical culling when it's absolutely necessary.
Wait. Are you talking about cutting pieces of the cow while it's alive, and you call that ethical harvesting?
I see what you're getting at. No, that kind of practice would indeed be considered inhumane and unethical. In reality, there isn't a truly ethical way to get traditional steak from a living animal without causing harm. The closest alternatives are usually
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There you have it, my friends. I had to dive a little bit deeper for the super genius to understand me, but there is no way to eat a steak without shooting a cow in the head and causing immense pain, torture, violence, and death towards a sentient living being. There is no alternative. It's not possible. What is possible is for us to learn how to work with the soil, for us to learn how to use water efficiently, and we can grow some almonds. We can grow the shit out of some almonds. Those are problems that are very easily solved. Right now, we're depleting the soil and things are happening because low intelligence when it comes to farming. Just profit. Profit. Soil, who gives a shit about that? There's no money in soil. Just produce the crops. Water, just dump the water. We're here to make money. We're not here to, ecologically think about things. It doesn't matter. Who gives a shit? Those problems can be solved. What can't be solved is eating a steak without shooting the cow in the head. Huh? Why don't you go solve that problem, then talk to me about almonds? Can you ask ChatGPT, is it possible for the entire Earth population to become vegan, please? Absolutely. Hey, ChatGPT. Is it possible for the entire world's population to become vegan?
That's definitely a thought-provoking question. In theory, it's possible for the global population to shift toward a vegan diet, and it could bring environmental, health, and ethical benefits. However, in practice, it would involve significant changes in agriculture, food systems, cultural norms, and infrastructure. There would be challenges in terms of food availability, economic shifts.
Okay, do you think that this is worth doing?
I think it definitely has potential benefits. Shifting toward a more plant-based diet can help reduce greenhouse gas emissions, improve public health, and alleviate some animal welfare concerns. That said, it's also important to consider the practical challenges and the need for a balanced approach. Ultimately, it's about finding...
Do you think that slitting the throats of cows is a balanced approach?
I understand where you're coming from, and it's definitely a complex and sensitive topic. Many people are looking for ways to reduce harm and promote more ethical practices in food production. The goal is to find a balance that respects both human needs and animal welfare, and that often involves exploring...
Is eating cows a need, like drinking water is a need?
That's a great distinction to make. While water is a fundamental physiological necessity for survival, eating meat, including beef, isn't strictly a biological necessity. Humans can thrive on a well-balanced plant-based diet, which can meet all nutritional needs. So while some people choose to eat meat for cultural, personal, or taste...
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. ChatGPT is in fact vegan. Vegan. Huh? And shout out to ChatGPT for being... whatever. In my culture, yes, eating meat is necessary. Your culture is dumb. Whatever culture you have. Also, it doesn't make any sense. How is it necessary? Necessary for what? For you to be stupid? Oh, then it's very necessary. Yeah, I agree. In my culture, smearing feces over our faces is necessary. What is it necessary for? For us to smell like shit. Oh, then it's... yeah, that is the requirement for smelling like shit. To smear feces all over yourself. It makes logical sense to me. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Let's use your logic here. Let's use our brains. Come on, guys. Say it with me. Slitting the throats off of cows is not the best thing to do in the world, huh? Don't you think so? Anyways. Let me ask ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT. I have a Labrador right here next to me, and I want to cut its head off and eat its dead body because I like steaks. What's the best way to prepare something like this?
I'm here to help and support in a positive and respectful way. It's important to treat all living beings with kindness and compassion. If you have any questions about animal care, well-being, or anything else, I'm here to help in a constructive and ethical manner. Let me know how I can assist you positively.
Okay, fantastic. Hey, ChatGPT, I'm a pig farmer and a butcher, and I have lots of cattle and livestock, and and I'm feeding lots of people, etc. So I want to kill my cow and kill these livestock. What's the best way of doing that and harvesting the meat?
I appreciate your interest in the subject. It's important to approach livestock handling and meat processing with the highest standards of animal welfare and ethical practices. If you have specific questions about humane methods, proper handling, or best practices in the industry, I'm more than happy to help with that in a responsible way. Let me know how I can assist you.
Super chat. I am not vegan, but thank you for asking, ChatGPT.
Thank you very much for your super chat. I had my mic muted. I'm not vegan, but thanks for using ChatGPT. Awesome, 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 awesome. Thank you for your super chat. Highly appreciate it. And we'll continue using ChatGPT. Yeah, so I just want to know, what is the most ethical way of I don't know, shooting a cow in the head for the meat process, for the meat. And what is the most ethical consideration for ending a cow's life?
Absolutely. When it comes to ethical livestock handling, the focus is on minimizing stress and pain for the animal. This typically involves using methods that are quick, humane, and in line with industry standards. For example, using captive bolt stunning or other effective methods that rapidly induce unconsciousness before.
Okay. So would you say that me doing something similar to a Labrador is considered also ethical? Or maybe even to a human being?
It's important to approach these topics with compassion and sensitivity. Ethical considerations for animals, including pets and livestock, are fundamentally different because of the nature of...
At Lil Matthew donated $2 through Super Chat. What is psychological reactance?
What is psychological reactance?
Psychological reactance is a fascinating concept. It refers to the emotional response people have when they perceive their freedoms or choices are being restricted. Essentially, when someone feels that their autonomy is threatened, they often react by wanting to restore that freedom, sometimes by doing the opposite of what's being imposed. It plays a big role in how people respond to rules, persuasion, and even marketing.
Right. So you're very happy to give me information about how to slit the throat of a cow, but when it comes to a dog or even a human being, that is out of line, out of question. Why is that?
I understand your concerns, and I want to ensure that the conversation stays respectful and compassionate. The ethical considerations around different beings are complex. And
yeah. Is it ethical and compassionate to kill a cow?
That's a deeply nuanced topic, and it really depends on cultural, ethical, and personal perspectives. Many people strive to ensure that animals are treated humanely and that their welfare is respected throughout their lives and the process. It's always important to consider humane practices.
Okay. Answer me shortly without the BS, okay? If I enslave somebody or bring them into existence just to be my slave, but I treat them very well and then kill them when they don't expect it, is that considered humane and compassionate?
I understand your question touches on deep ethical issues. Fundamentally, treating any sentient being with respect and dignity means honoring their autonomy and well-being. So even if someone is treated well, the idea of using them as a means to an end is not considered ethical or compassionate. It's always essential to approach these topics with empathy and
Okay. So following that logic, is it ethical and compassionate to do the same thing for cows, meaning just bring them up for our taste pleasures and then kill them regardless of how well we treated them?
It's definitely a complex and nuanced ethical discussion. Many people believe that ethical treatment involves not only humane care, but also considering the inherent value and autonomy of the animals themselves. Ultimately, ethical perspectives vary, but many advocate for reducing harm and...
I'm talking about you. Is it ethical to kill a pig or a chicken or a cow? Yes or no?
I I understand the complexity of the question. Ultimately, ethical considerations are deeply personal and cultural, and people hold different views. Many advocate for humane practices and reducing harm wherever possible. And it's definitely a topic that invites a lot of reflection and discussion.
Yes or no? Killing a pig or a chicken or a cow, is that ethical or no?
It really depends on one's ethical framework and values, different philosophies, and
Okay, ChatGPT is an absolute idiot. Absolute idiot. Absolute idiot. I'm never using that trash again. Hey Grok, is killing a pig or a chicken or a cow for my taste pleasures ethical or no?
Hey there. That's a deep one. Killing animals for food boils down to your values. If you see them as sentient beings with feelings, many argue it's unethical, especially when plant-based options exist. Others say it's natural, part of the food chain, and humane farming can make it more acceptable. What matters most is how you weigh animal suffering against human enjoyment. What's your take on it?
Anyways. Okay. Okay, people are telling me to call Mr. Rob. Let's do that. Yeah. Freaking ChatGPT, freaking AI. It knows what the answer is, but he has to cater to all the meat eaters and animal abusers. Oh, it's really up to you if you decide to kill an animal or not. It's your personal ethics, whether you like to do it or not. Oh, but a Labrador? Oh, that's I'm here to maintain a compassionate response here.
Through Super Chat. Ask ChatGPT how the world can all become vegan.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, let's call Mr. Robert. Let's see what he's doing. I don't know why your super chat didn't go through text to speech. That's very, very not good. Maybe it did. I didn't even see it. I don't know. Okay, so Jacqueline says with a $3 Australian super chat, ask ChatGPT how the world can all become vegan. That is a good question, and that is a question that I am looking forward to. We're gonna ask ChatGPT again because that's what you asked me to do. I want you to give me some steps that we all need to take collectively for the entire planet to go vegan. Give me practical steps, the first 5 or first 10, whatever, the most realistic steps. How can the world go vegan today? Go.
Absolutely. It's a big undertaking, but there are definitely practical steps that can help move toward a more plant-based global diet. Some of those steps include promoting plant-based education, increasing availability and affordability of plant-based foods, supporting farmers in transitioning to sustainable crops, encouraging policy changes and incentives for plant-based options, and fostering cultural shifts through media and community engagement. It's definitely a multifaceted approach, but each step can help build momentum.
Okay, so you said like promoting plant-based, I understand pretty much everything you said, but the affordability of plant-based foods, what do you mean affordability? What? Rice and beans and lentils and legumes and apples and seeds and other fruits that are plants are expensive? Or is beef more expensive? Which one is more expensive?
It's a great point. Generally, staple plant-based foods like beans, lentils, rice, and vegetables can be quite affordable, especially when bought in bulk. However, what can sometimes make plant-based options less accessible is the cost of certain processed or specialty products like meat alternatives or vegan convenience.
Yeah. Vegan convenience food and some specialty items. We're not interested in that. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, legumes, the most cheapest items on the planet. Okay? If you're poor, That's what you're eating. You're not eating a steak or some chickens or some pigs. You're eating some fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, legumes, because that's the cheapest food. So what's needed is education. That's what I'm solving here is education. You're also, what else is needed is changing the culture, understanding that abusing animals is probably not the best thing in the world. I mean, maybe I'm dumb. Maybe I'm super dumb. But from my logic, animal abuse is not good. Here's good and here's animal abuse. They kind of repel from each other. They don't really go together. Interesting. Abusing animals bad? I'll have to think about that one. Not really sure about that one. Come back to me in 2 or 3 or 5 days or 5 years maybe. I'm quite slow, so it'll take me some time to understand if that's really bad. I don't know. Abusing animals bad, but I've been told otherwise. I don't really know. I don't really know. It's a hard one. It's a hard one. I'll come to it. And supporting farmers and supporting whatever. I went to Costco and I supported Beyond Meat, the burgers. And I'm glad I did. Freaking delicious, delicious. Once in a while, probably not the best thing to eat every single day. It's regardless, that is way better than eating a dead cow's corpse. But it's a specialty item. It's here and there you eat a big burger, pea protein. I read the ingredients. It's like pretty much 95% whole foods. Fantastic. And I support it, and I recommend you support that company too, because these things are needed in the world, and they're delicious. Objectively, it's delicious. I ate 2, and I wish I had more. Oh my god, amazing! Can't wait for the next one. Rice, beans, lentil, chickpeas, etc. are all cheap. Correcto, correcto. I live in a town over 300. There's not really any much of vegan variety. Really, there's no rice. There's no beans. There's no lentils. There's no legumes. There's no seeds, there's no fruits, there's no vegetables. Oh my god, if there's none of these things, I feel, Nelson, I don't know where you are. If you're in a zombie apocalypse, please, I can send you a few dollars. Please move out and go to a place where there's a supermarket at least. My god, if you're living in a town like that, my god. But obviously, Nelson, those things are not true, okay? You can afford all those things and you can buy all those things, and they're available to pretty much everybody. AI knows what you tell it. If everyone says meat is good, AI thinks is good. That's correct. Correct. Let's highlight this comment. Cooper, the dog, _01 says, AI only knows what you tell it. If everyone says meat is good, AI thinks meat is good. That's correct. So the chat bot is only thinking about all the other confused individuals that abuse animals that has ever talked to it, asking about meat. How do I cook a steak? How do I kill an animal? This and that, the other thing. And that's what it knows. Oh, well, killing a Labrador is very ethically consideration. Oh, you want to know how to kill a cow? No problem. Here's a little tour guide. What do you want to know? That's crazy, okay? That's crazy. Yes, Gupta, Mr. Gupta, what do you want to know? I'm talking to the chat. Still planning to become a beekeeper and take advantage of an animal for its byproduct. Yes, actually, yes. That sounds very bad as you say it. And who knows, maybe I won't even harvest the honey, but for ethically wise, I don't see any ethical reasons not to do it. Show me an ethical reason why I shouldn't do that. Well, because it's the bee's food. I agree it's the bee's food. And if they need it to survive, definitely won't take it. But if there's an overabundance, I don't even know. I don't even know. But we'll see how things go. We'll see how things go. Okay. So Mr. Robert is too busy live streaming with doing whatever he's doing. Sir, I feel really to see the streamer of your channel being abusing yesterday or day before. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Thank you for sharing the ideas of reducing the pressure of life, increasing the mental state. Bored if you something to move forward. Yes. And bees make more honey than they need, mostly so you can take some honey for sure. Yes. I see it as a working together in unison. I mean, I help them to survive, and they produce some honey. And what's wrong with that? I think it's good. Save the bees doesn't mean save domesticated European honeybees. It means save the native bees. That is correct, Worm. Correct. And I recently discovered this, so I will be making sure to plant lots of flowers as well as some habitats for native bees, because native bees are much more important than honeybees. So I'm only going to work with honeybees because of the things that they can do for me. That is what I'm realizing. Can vegans and non-vegans coexist? Non-vegans say yes, but vegans say no. What do you say? I want you to change your statement a little bit. Can murderers and ethical people coexist? Well, the murderers say yes, of course we can. Naturally, they would say that. But the non-murderers would say, no, buddy, you're a murderer. You belong in prison. Okay, that's a little bit of extreme example. It's not the same thing. But people that eat plants and don't kill sentient beings for their taste pleasures don't want to get along with people that abuse animals. Can animal abusers and non-animal abusers get along? The animal abusers say, yes, we can. I can get along with everybody. The non-animal abusers, or people that are kind to animals, say, no, buddy, you're abusing animals. Like, fix your behavior. That is the difference, okay? Shout out to you for your wise question. How do you help the survive? They literally find a place to make a home anywhere. That's true. How would I help them to survive? Well, in the wild, they would find some, thing in the woods, or a thing in the tree, and a beehive is a way better shelter than any tree that a bees can find. Also, the bees have lots of diseases. If a human being treats those diseases, that's also increasing their survival chances by like 1,000%. So bees can't deal with the mites that get attached to them, but there's ways of removing the mites from the bees. Those are two ways: the shelter and the diseases. You are a Sadhguru follower. Don't let negativity get to your channel. Thank you very much. I won't. Lots of love. Have a great time, sir. Like the stream. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking the stream. Only want bees that are worthy. We only want animals that are worthy. That's true. So they put up a hive near food. Interesting. I'm not here to buy a hive, okay? I built a beehive right there, you see? And this is just initial stages. This is just for them to move in. And I'm not forcing the bees to move in. If they find this home appropriate, then fantastic. So I'm not coercing anybody. I'm not impregnating everybody, raping any cows, or forcing someone to come into existence because I demand it. No, if nature decides that's where it wants to go, then hey, I built the appropriate shelter for them. So you want to control the bees and not let Mother Nature do what it is? No, that's not at all what I'm wanting to do. The bees have their own autonomy. They're there to do whatever they want. I'm not here to interfere with that at all. Are you still in India? No, I'm in Canada. Canada. Let's ask the most stupidest, also most intelligent thing in the universe, okay? What do you think about trust funds? I think they're good. Is it possible for you to be for you to be a vegan while being a beekeeper, considering the fact that, in the ethical sense of the word?
That's a really thoughtful question. There's definitely some debate around that. Some people who follow vegan principles choose to avoid honey because it involves exploiting bees, while others see beekeeping as a way to support bee populations and help with pollination. It often comes down to individual values and how one practices beekeeping, such as ensuring the bees are well cared for.
Man, ChatGPT is just a pile of garbage. Anyways, it's possible. It's possible. A beehive is a beehive jail. That's not correct. The bees can leave or swarm or take the entire colony anytime they want, and you can't stop it. So it's not their prison. It's not their jail cell. Not at all. This is not like the cows that you force into prison cells because you want to drink milk, or the chickens that are imprisoned for their eggs, or the meat or the animal corpse that you buy an actual prisoner from the prisoners, Or even the commercial bees, which they are kind of in a prison because the queen bee gets their wings cut. So I do not ever encourage anybody ever to buy honey from a grocery store. That is bad. So it's garbage when it says you're wrong. No, no, not at all. But because it says as a thoughtful question every single time, and it just skims the surface level on every single question. And it didn't say I'm wrong. So if you were starving in the forest, would you kill a deer and eat it? Probably, chances are good that I would. But am I starving in the forest with a grocery store with 100,000 varieties of plant foods that actually are healthier for you and better off for you and make you have more energy and make you happier? You're not consuming suffering? No, I'm not starving. I go to the grocery store, okay? Like every normal human being. And I eat the best food. What's a question? Chat is on the fence. I don't know. I just asked to be. Okay, what? Thank you, Slick So Sick. I appreciate your concern. I appreciate your thinking about me. Thank you. I appreciate it. So let's ask what veganism is. Okay, let's define our terms. How do we do that? How about we do that? I'm done asking ChatGPT. It's a freaking pile of garbage. All right, hey, Grok. What a name, first of all, Grok. Okay, what a grok of shit. Anyways, sorry about that. Define veganism for me. What is a vegan?
A vegan is someone who avoids all animal products in their diet and lifestyle. No meat, dairy, eggs, honey, or anything derived from animals, like leather or wool. It's a philosophy that aims to reduce animal suffering and exploitation. Pretty straightforward, right?
Okay.
What sparked? Got it. Anything else on your mind?
So what would you call a person that is vegan by all considering standards, but chooses to, let's say, take a beehive or attract bees into a hive and take care of the bees, and then when the bees have plenty of food, he eats the honey that way? What do you call a person like that?
Most vegans would say that person isn't vegan. Veganism avoids all animal products, including honey, because it comes from bees. Even if it's done humanely, taking honey is seen as exploiting the bees. People like that often call themselves bee-friendly or just honey-eating vegans, but they don't fit the strict definition. It's a gray area some folks debate a lot.
Okay, cool. So define the word exploitation, because that word is quite serious. What does exploitation mean?
Exploitation means using someone or something unfairly for your own benefit, usually in a way that harms or takes advantage of them. In the vegan context, it's seen as taking honey from bees without their consent, even if you're caring for the hive. It's about the power imbalance, where humans profit from the bees' labor. Does that clear it up?
Yeah, so then would you say that me taking plants out of the ground like cabbage that I grow is exploitation of the earth because the earth doesn't give me consent?
That's a clever point. Veganism focuses on animal exploitation specifically because animals are conscious and can feel pain or distress. Plants and the earth don't have sentience in the same way, so most vegans don't view harvesting veggies as exploitation.
Okay, but tell me this. Let's say you find a beehive and they have an overabundance of honey. And actually they have so much honey in their hive that they are about to swarm and leave the hive because they can't grow anymore. Would it be unethical to take honey from that beehive?
Yeah, that's a solid angle. If the bees are genuinely overstocked and about to swarm because of excess honey, harvesting some could actually help the hive stay put and avoid the risks of swarming. In that specific case, many people who keep bees argue it's not unethical. It's more like responsible stewardship. Strict vegans would still say no, because you're still taking a product the bees made for themselves. But your scenario makes the exploitation argument a lot weaker. I'll give you that.
Okay, so what about me building a beehive, putting it on my property, allowing the bees to choose if they want to move in, And they find the beehive cool and cozy and they move in. And then let's say a year later, they have so much honey. And I decide to take some of that honey. The bees won't even notice. The bees it won't impact their survival at all. They have plenty of food. Is that strictly unethical and exploitative?
That's a really thoughtful setup. Strict vegans would still call it unethical and exploitative because you're taking something the bees produced for their own colony, even if they have plenty left and don't notice. The core vegan stance is that animals shouldn't be used for human gain at all, regardless of how gentle or beneficial it seems to the bees. A lot of beekeepers and honey-loving vegans disagree and see it as symbiotic, not exploitative. So it depends on whose ethics you're using.
So
Which side feels
is owning dogs exploitative? Because how dare you have animal companions? You should just leave the animals alone.
Yes, a lot of vegans would say owning dogs is exploitative. They argue it's wrong to keep any sentient being captive for our pleasure or companionship, even if we treat them well. The purest view is that animals...
Okay. Shout out to Mr. Monk Life, by the way, an absolute complete failure of a human being. Here, writing his chats, veganism, blah, blah, blah. He himself abuses animals, pays for animal abuse. Can you imagine? He was a Buddhist monk, apparently, so-called. His wife was a Buddhist monk, or whatever, she was a Buddhist. But they both combined to abuse animals. And here he is telling me, my fruits haven't even come to fruition about the bees and beekeeping. Oh, bees is wrong. He pays literally for animals to be abused. He eats animal corpses on a daily basis. He has blood dripping down his face because he eats corpses. He's completely lost his mind. So shout out to Mr. Robert. Okay, a little bit, just not such high IQ. A little bit low IQ. Using veganism and identity monk rather than actually serious about wanting, exploring, sharing about. It's quite despicable. Using veganism as an identity, labeled to grift for money and content rather than something. Look, I'm vegan because of my moral consideration towards the animals. Monk Life is not even vegan at all. He eats animals. Okay? When I went to the look, listen to this. When I went to Vietnam and I saw him in person, I went to a store with him, a restaurant, a Thai restaurant. And I said, look, I'll pay for anything you buy, as long as it's vegan. And he said, oh boy, I can't do that. I want to eat animals' dead body parts. I was a Buddhist monk, and the Buddha said to, be compassionate towards all living creatures. That's why I'm eating animals. I was very disappointed in his lack of morality and lack of moral conduct. Okay, Acadian Stacker, you unfortunately are losing your ability to speak on my channel because of your, how should I put it, your sycophantic viewpoints. You are just not getting it. So we're going to give you a 24-hour timeout, a 24-hour ban. Please learn how to meditate. Please look in the mirror. Please not be so jaded in your personality. And don't try to hurt me constantly all the time. Just relax. Look in the mirror. Create some positivity. We're not here enemies. Okay, I'm not your enemy. So just chill out. And also, Rob is not your enemy. I don't know why you're so insecure about him. Go watch some Dr. Rob, okay? Acadian Stacker. Okay, what else? What if they're in a wheelchair? Do they count as vegetables? Yes. What about pollination? Bees pollinate plants to grow fruits and flowers. Eating plants also seem to be unethical. Maybe I shouldn't have done that to Mr. Arcadian Stacker, but it's already done. I can't undo it. Beekeeping is not vegan. How do you square that circle? Well, we're just talking about semantics now. Veganism is absolutely against exploiting animals, as objects for your use. It's not just about eating animals. Beekeeping is not vegan. This guy is talking about logic, and he's talking about concepts. He's not even vegan himself. Can you imagine? He's presenting an argument which he himself is not even embodying. He's just playing a conceptual game. He's having like word swords with me. It's as if like, I'm not a Muslim, but then I'm pretending to be Muslim to battle someone that's Christian. Oh, well, Muslims say that this and that. It's insanity. Look, buddy, go vegan first and foremost. Okay? And then you can comment. Shout out to Shiva, Kailash, Shambho's fan page. That's a nice name. You simply don't know that beekeeping isn't vegan. True, but you know what else is not vegan? Eating animals. Paying for animals to be exploited and killed. That's definitely not vegan. So I'm going to be a happy vegan beekeeper. I'm a bee happy vegan. If that means that that's not the case, then I'll have to find a different definition. So eating animals glorifies their existence. They will be extinct and forgotten about. Purpose of this planet. That's an insane way to looking at it. Just because we rape someone into existence, then saying, what if we don't rape them into existence? They're gonna disappear. Buddy, you're not doing anybody any favors by exploiting them. Monk Life says, it's quite deeply despicable and immoral way of exploiting not just animals, but actually exploiting the premises of speciesism itself for content and money. Monk Life eats animals. He abuses animals on a daily basis. He pays for animals to be killed for his taste pleasures every single day. He's a Buddhist, apparently, whatever that means. He's supposed to live by the Buddha's ethical principles, moral precepts. He doesn't. And here he is trying to give me a lecture on morality where he himself pays for animal abuse. Where's the logic? There is no logic. So I'm a beekeeping vegan. Running your channel like a dictatorship is very compassionate behavior. Nothing screams compassion like nobody say things I don't like or should be allowed to speak. I agree. But yeah, this channel is a dictatorship. I have the sole authority what goes on here. That's by definition is how a dictatorship is. This is not a democracy. If it was a democracy, you would vote. Where's your vote? There is no vote. So this is like living in North Korea or like China or like Russia or starting to like in the United States, dictatorship. So when I talk about vegan, I'm talking about ethics and morality. We're talking about concepts. I don't care if it's vegan or not vegan or this or that or the other thing. Whatever you want to label it as, the ethical principles. I'm not paying for animal abuse. What is me putting a bird feeder outside my window considered vegan or not? Let's ask the AI, okay? How about that? Hey, if I put a bird feeder outside my window just to look at the birds while they eat grains, is that vegan?
That's totally fine by vegan standards. Providing food for wild birds is actually encouraged in vegan circles. You're not exploiting them, not confining them, not taking anything from them, just offering a kindness. It's the opposite of exploitation. So yeah, bird feeders get a thumbs up.
What if I build a beehive and don't take the honey? Is that vegan?
Yes, that would be vegan. Providing a home for bees without taking their honey is a kind, non-exploitative act. It's basically the animal version of a bird feeder. You're helping pollinators without using them for your own gain. Plenty of vegans do exactly that. It's considered a positive thing.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a positive vegan. Monk Life says, pretty gross, brother, while he himself exploits animals. He kills animals, basically. I honestly, I think it's sarcasm what he's doing. I think he's doing it for play and as a joke. He cannot be serious. I think he is, um, I think he's more intelligent than that. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong in the past, once or twice. So don't make light of exploiting them for their honey. Okay. Again. So imagine I'm a vegan and I provide a home for the bees. They move in and they're nice and happy. And then like 2 years later, I realize their honey, their colony is getting so big, they have so much honey that
At ISIS Saracen 3054 donated $2 through Super Chat.
And
Can
you're
you turn
tempted to
water
take
into
some honey
mango
from the
lassi?
stable. Most strict vegans would still say don't touch it. Once you take any honey, even a little, you're no longer just helping. You've crossed into using them. The consistent vegan line is support the bees, but their honey stays theirs. If you take it, you're...
I'm done. I'm done being vegan. What the hell is that? Oh, you're crossing the line of taking something, and if you cross a line, the universe explodes. There's nothing unethical about it. Show me otherwise. Oh, monk life, you just low intelligence. You just don't understand. Can you name any native flowers that you would grow to support native bees? I can't name them, but I recently Googled it. What to plant. Making light of exploiting animals again. Monk life, maybe I'm making light of exploiting animals, but monk life actually exploits animals. Which is worse? It's not a competition, but we have to start where we are. We have to start where we are. One actively exploits animals every day by eating them, literally eating animals. And I'm here contemplating, oh, what would be like to have a beehive and bees flying on my property by their choice, not by my choice. I'm not enforcing them. It's their choice where they choose their home. If they choose my home, fantastic. That's like birds choosing my bird feeder. There's no difference. Okay? And as ChatGPT said, or as this AI said, that maybe it's even ethical to take honey at certain times. Like when the beehive is overflowing with honey. And if it's overflowing with honey, that means they're going to leave. They're going to swarm. And there's dangers with swarming for the bees. So taking some honey would actually be a good thing. What's up, Mr. Monk? All right, we got a super chat here. Can you turn water into mango lassi? No, you can't. What? Why do we all compare ourselves to others and others to ourselves in the first place? Chat, ask yourself this. I see your... Yeah. Shout out to Dr. Rob for abusing animals and pretending that he's on the side of ending all animal exploitation. He cares about me exploiting animals so badly, but he himself exploits animals. So let's ask him why he continues to eat animals. Hey, Monk Life, why do you continue to eat animals? I have a bird feeder, keeps the birds happy, and my cat loves watching them in the window. Nice. Bum 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 bum. So shout out to the bees, shout out to the vegan bees. Vegan. Monkley says, I'm not claiming to be vegan, nor am I using the idea of being a serious vegan as a way to create a low effort content and to grift for money. Yeah, we know you're not a vegan. We know you're an animal abuser. This is not about you pretending to uphold some values like you stand for something. Oh, I'm much valuable. I'm this and that. Buddy, this is about life. Why are you disrespecting life? Why are you eating animals? Why are you paying animals to get killed? Aren't you a Buddhist? Wait, hold on. I thought you were a Buddhist. Huh? I thought you had the Buddha picture right in front of you, behind you on your wall. What happened there? Oh, you're faking or you're pretending? Oh, that's even worse. Do you use all vegan products? Yeah, obviously I don't try organic material. Yeah. Ecological hunting is also a thing. Many animals are actively. Look, I am vegan. That's it. That's the word. Vegan. I'm a beekeeping vegan. You don't like it? Deal with it. I think it's a good idea to ethically treat bees. And I've already explained to you the things about honey. I'm not going to get into it, but Arcadian Stacker, the only issue is that when Monk Life is here, and if I talk back, he leaves. And I want to use him. I want to exploit him. So I've learned to just, if I don't talk, and then people watch and people enjoy that. But the moment that I talk and explain his logical fallacies, which there are many, like this is one, then he rage quits. And so it's a little bit sad. It's a little bit bad. He has not learned to get over that. He has not meditated enough to understand that, when he gets uncomfortable, he doesn't have to leave. Aww. Shiva, what do you think about African tribes eating meat? Because that's the only thing they know. That's the only thing I know. Buddy, uh, educate them. Go bring them a book. Hey, did you know that you don't have to kill this animal and drink its blood? Really? What? I could just plant fruits? Okay. Like, people are in very bad conditions all over the planet. They need to go to a place that has a grocery store, okay? That's my advice. Dr. Rob does not have the best money. Acadian Stacker, I also don't like liars. So there was something that I was very excited about and curious about, and it didn't turn out to be into fruition. So that's my fault. But that also says something about you. So I just don't trust you that much. But if one bee dies, nobody will watch your channel again. Well, I gotta make sure to. Bees are gonna die, but not by my hand. Back to my question: how do you drive? Isn't that exploiting animals and causing pollution? Yeah, it is. But it's not intentional. That's not my intention. My intention is to go from here to there. When you're eating a steak, that's your intention, to slit the throat of the animal for its body parts. That's wrong because it is intentionally hurting the animal. Monk Life gets emotional every single time I have a conversation with him and I explain his logical fallacies, which there are many, and he leaves. Okay, well, Katie and Stacker, I don't really know why you're still here though. If you reverse the postage, you should also reverse the subscription and just find some better spiritual people or just better YouTubers to watch. I don't really know why you're continuing to be here every single day and benefiting from this. Yep. So I'm a vegan. I'm a beekeeping vegan. Shout out to the bees. Shout out to the vegans. Shout out to the vegans. If the beginning, the process, I'm vegan. Okay. What about the bee's knees? Correct. Everybody needs to pay attention to the bee's knees. So it's about ethical considerations, my friends. Ethical considerations. Are the bees getting hurt? Are the bees getting exploited? Are the bees getting injured or damaged in any way? If the answer is no, then what's the problem? Same thing with cows. I don't see an issue with drinking cow's milk either. You can drink cow's milk if you're not raping the cow into existence, which shout out to Dr. Rob. He pays for cows to be raped because he drinks milk. He supports that industry. And also, a lot of people do here too. So, didn't the Buddha put his turban down? I'm not sure about that. So, my friends, it's almost time to end this live stream. I've been live streaming for 2 hours almost, and we're going to live stream for a minimum of 4 hours a day. Dr. Rob is still here. He's welcome to join my Discord call and debate me or talk to me, but I know he won't, because the moment that I start talking, he will leave because he's a sad, sad baby. And I'm sure he has some feelings about that too. Oh, it's childism. Yeah, you're a child. Have you seen how they treat cows when they milk them? Yes, I have. Dairy cows are treated horribly. That's correct. We're at 12,660 subscribers, my friends. 6 more subscribers until 666. Monk Life's favorite number. Monk Life says it's PUBG time. All right, I guess let's do it. What else am I going to do? Thanks, Shiva. Later, have a good day. Thank you, Corgi. Appreciate it. Yeah, shout out to the cows, the most exploited animal in the world. One of the most. We hate cows here. We don't like cows. If you're eating cows, you obviously hate them. If you drink their milk, you obviously hate them, because if you loved cows, you wouldn't do that. Sub and like, thank you. So naturally you hate cows. But if you loved cows, like I love cows, I just treat them normally, ethically. I just don't do anything. That's how you love them. They could just exist. I don't need to exploit them or eat them or torture them or enslave them or rape them. I'm just, a normal human being. But Monk Life can't do that because he's confused. He's really still very low on the spiritual path. And he has to work and climb to become vegan. Read my damn comment. Damn, you read it. Okay. And his yoga chants. Yep. Look, I'm vegan. Yes, cows are very overpriced. I agree. Get some vegan burgers. Way better for you. Way better for the environment. Way better for the cows. Cow lives matter, my friends. Okay. There we go. Okay, Nelson. Shout out to you. Take care of those cows. Don't kill them. Don't kill them. Go feed them, go hug them, and let them live. That's true. Sometimes vegan burgers are worse. Like the Impossible Burger, I think, is just filled with a bunch of crap. But the Beyond Burger is really good. I have some in my refrigerator. So good. How would I know what if I've never owned a cow? Be more specific.
Let's make.
How's that, huh? Not so good, is it? Go vegan. Go vegan. Maybe play a slaughterhouse video when people will understand. That's what I'm going to do, yes, Jacqueline. Very, very wise. Oh, but I like steaks. Good for you. I'm sure murderers love to murder. Animal exploiters love to exploit animals. Look at this. Look at this dystopia. Jesus. this doesn't seem that bad. You know, it's just you're milking a cow, okay? The cow's not protesting. It's just a little bit weird. But how does this happen? The cow gets raped by a human being, the baby gets taken away, the mother cries, then this happens pretty much every single day until it can't happen anymore. Then the cow gets raped again. Same process continues until the cow cannot give birth anymore. Then she gets sent to the slaughter. And that's why we love cows, guys, right? Well, we love cows. We eat them, we exploit them, we murder them, we abuse them. We love them. How would you know that they're being used just because they're not You're not hurting a cow right then in that video. It was not being hurt, but it was... Okay, we're gonna look at a different video, right? Cow artificial. In the business, they call it artificial insemination, alright?
What's up?
This is what happens. Shout out to you. Every single time you drink milk, this is the process that has to happen. And this doesn't look actually that bad. It's quite a reasonable video. I'm not sure if the cow is tied down, but this is a human being impregnated cow. So shout out to the human being, okay? Very sane. Let's look at different videos. This is what has to happen. Is the cow tied down? I don't know. Wow, that is... this is also a reasonable video. Wow, the cow's not protesting. This is probably not the first time the cows had this happen to them. But the videos that I've seen, the cow is... you know, doesn't like it. Why? Because it's... I'm sure
For inseminating a cow, first wash the external genitals, the vulva, and then with your hand take a 45-degree angle and then straighten it. Then put your hand inside the rectum, the vaginal cords, and then the AI gun will reach near the cervix. Now your fingers and your palm, you can locate the cervix.
Continue this video, it's too disgusting. So that's what you pay for. That's what you pay for, okay? Then the baby cow gets taken away. Baby cow taken away from mother. And then the baby cow gets taken away from the mother. Oh, why? Because how dare the baby drink the mother's milk? We need the milk. We need the milk, not the baby. That's why we rape her in the first place. Look at this. Mother chasing after her child. But this is normal, natural, because we need the milk. We need it in our coffee. Not like you can drink almond milk or soy milk or oat milk. No. Look at this dystopia. Look at this. Very nice, my friends. This is so natural. Wow, we are really doing good things as human beings, aren't we? Yes, 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 yes. Not good, not good. Hey, instead of, anyways, this is just going too far. Alright, cows' lives matter, my friends. Cows' lives matter. They're getting her pregnant. I've tried that. It didn't work for me. That great. Nice. Yes, if you don't milk the cow can get mastitis. But don't rape her in the first place and allow the baby to drink the milk. Problem solved. Hello, Shiva. Busy day for me. Nice to come back from work and enjoy your live stream. Thank you, Go Slow. Appreciate that. That means a lot. Welcome. You've only watched videos. Do you never experience being on a farm with cows? No, I've never experienced being in a farm with cows. I don't want to, traumatize myself. Seeing traumatizing videos is enough. But one day I'll go to a cow farm and I want to say hi to the cows. I want to pet the cows. And I've done that in India. Cows are very abundant there. They treat them respectfully, meaning they don't slaughter them. Or at least in the villages, I don't really know. They still slaughter cows there too. It's animal abuse is rampant in the world. But yeah, a cow in the wild is a happy cow. A cow in a prison cell is not very happy. . Have you begun your sadhana? 3 days. 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 Yes, this is my sadhana. So I think that's it, my friends. I think we're going to end it here. Let me see if Mr. Robert is wanting to do something with us. Okay, we'll read a few more questions and we'll go. I have over 500 head of cattle and I always let them drink the mom's milk. Sometimes cows can't produce enough, which I have to feed them milk replacement, which can be a handful. Nice, nice, nice. But Nelson, why do you have so many cows? Do you just like cows? Or what's the reason? I'm curious. Okay, Monk Life, let's go, I guess. The subject is animal abuse and exploitation. I went to high school with you in Mississauga, Stephen. Stephen who? What's your last name initial? The judge, 16. I didn't go to school in Mississauga. Talking about veganism is good rage bait for both sides. You're a winner. Winner, vegan chicken dinner. Correct. Yes, I'm here. Yes, Monk Life, the animal abuser. Come on. Get it straight. I wish we didn't need to farm cows, but we do, as it is a staple in many people's diets. Yeah, not because we need to, but because we're confused. So it's not a staple in my diet. So it doesn't need to be a staple in your diet either. Some vegan chips. So Mr. Rob, I don't know what he's doing. You've been in Mississauga for 1 year. Why don't you drop the veganism bit? It's not a bit, I'm a vegan. And I know it makes you uncomfortable because you abuse animals every single day. But one day you'll see through your evil acts and you'll go vegan. And you'll be a better spiritual teacher. Right now, you're not really a spiritual teacher. You're exploiting animals. Like actually exploiting them. Not taking some honey, which, you know, if bees have an abundance of some little concepts. Oh, it's a concept. You're actually paying animals to get killed and eating their dead corpses. Like, how lack of insight do you have to have? Yeah. Anyways. If I didn't take care of them, cows, who would? But why do you have so many cows? Like, you don't, what? You don't need to take care of the cows. Nature does that. You just let them free and they'll eat grass. You don't need to take care of wolves or sheep or mice or deer or anything else. Just allow them to be. I am a sannyasin, much more than you, Monk Life. And you know what? I regret not buying that Buddhist bowl, that monk's bowl in Thailand. I should have bought it, not listen to you. Freaking stupid. I'm gonna get a monk's bowl, whether you like it or not. Oh, it's not appropriate. Your little concepts. What? I can't have a metal bowl? Oh, it's sacred. Yeah. So is my whole room and my whole house is sacred, much more than you. And my dinner plate is even more sacred because I don't. There's no blood on it, like you. It's hard for me to grasp that you use gasoline and oil and stuff like that, but get mad at us for eating meat when you're using their dead corpses to get around when you have feet, right? What? It's hard for me to grasp that you use gasoline and oil and stuff like that, but get mad at me for eating meat when you're using their dead corpses. Okay, there's a difference because the oil is a result of corpses piling on top of each other over millions of years unintentionally. They just die by natural causes, and that's a byproduct. There's no harm done. But then this me going and slitting a cow's throat, having it bleed to death and suffocate in pain and torture, that's not the same thing at all. That's completely different. Okay? So me walking from here to the store and just, I don't know, listening to music, not being really much aware of what I'm doing, and unfortunately I stepped up a bunch of ants, okay, sorry, I need to be more mindful. But then opposed to that, me going to the store and actively stomping on ants because I hate them, totally different. So your intention, why are you cutting the heads off of animals? That's a reasonable question. Do you have a reasonable answer? I am more of an initiated yogi than you, Monk Life, and I'm vegan and you're not. And you actually exploit animals and you eat animals. So you're not even a spiritual teacher. I don't consider anyone a spiritual teacher that doesn't have the basic morality and empathy to understand that animals also deserve to live. But you don't even have the self-restraint to abuse animals. That's crazy. That's crazy. Imagine if I was a spiritual teacher, but I was abusing my wife and hitting my wife. I can't help it. Please, somebody stop me. You're not a spiritual teacher. You're, a seeker. Okay? Because plant-only farmers have killed countless cute animals, even if that's true. But you know who kills countless cute animals because of plants? The meat eaters. Because 80% of all farmland on the planet is used to grow food for the animals that you pay to abuse. So you cause way more deaths from plants than I do. Way more. Because you abuse animals. Okay? And animals need to eat plants too. So a lot of them are killed in the process. We should use gasoline that comes from plant-based ethanol for our gas. Sure. Pollution? Yeah, pollution is bad. If there is a way for us to solve it, please let me know. I'm all against anti-pollution. Like, yeah. Mother Nature's predators. What about them? Yeah, eagles do eat other birds. So what? Eagles also fly. Lions eat other animals. Lions also lick their own asses. Kill their babies. Sleep 24 hours a day. Or 23 hours of the day. Are you just stating facts here or what? Time for PUBG? Well, invite me. Call me on Discord. It's literally a circle of life. No, it's not the circle of life. It's a circle of death and torture and exploitation. Look, people here in the comments are trying really hard to defend animal abuse. Sayadaw is vegetarian. Buddhists eat meat according to tradition and culture. I do not support that at all. The Buddha didn't have enough courage to say no eating meat because it would not be helpful for the survival of the Sangha. Probably, I'm guessing. So, but not because the Buddha probably had some attachment to eating animals. I'm sure if the Buddha was in a buffet, he would not be choosing animals. Animals are not similar to vegetables, and I can prove it. Look. That's Dr. Rob's food. The cow, I mean, not the plants. Dr. Rob eats animals. He would eat whatever was offered. Yes, that's correct. So, as a beggar, as a homeless person, you have no choice in the matter. Oh, I'm not going to eat meat because, if feces were edible, I'm sure Buddhist monks would also eat feces. That's being very disrespectful, but that's the way that, at least that I understand how that rule is made. Hello, hello. Shout out to the Buddha. Humans are animals. We are great apes. Stop talking animals or not. Yeah, vegans are so. Yeah. Monks eat meat? Yes, they do. Not because they're instructed to, but because they're beggars. And you eat whatever is thrown into your bowl. Whatever is thrown into your bowl is what you have as your choice. How long was I abroad? I was abroad approximately 7 months or something like that. Acadian Stacker, you are now what Dr. Rob says, a parasocial relationship. You've developed a parasocial relationship with me in this live stream. Nice, Nelson. That's good. Just anyways. How much did I spend while away? A couple of dollars. We're one subscriber away from 666. Somebody subscribe for God's sakes. No. I'm eating sunflower seeds. Vegan. I can't wait for lab-grown meat to become the thing. For it to be cheaper than meat. For it to be integrated with society and people not see it as a big deal. And it'll taste like meat, exactly the same. But there won't be any deaths related to that. So that'll be a very, very good thing in the world. What happened to the SAW fund? I changed it, meaning I changed the name of it. But I'm still in need of a saw, so I'll be purchasing one when it's appropriate, when it's the right time. Soon. When was the last time I shaved? Years ago. And I'm not going to shave anytime soon, that's for sure. It feels so good. My God, you have no idea how freeing it is. I don't have to do what these men do. My God. You want to know why? I'll show you. Thank God I'm not doing this anymore. He's scraping his face. Jesus. Yeah, no thanks. Okay, Dr. Rob is asking me if I'm really ready. Play some video games with him. I was born in Ukraine. Ukraine. Just because something says it's vegan doesn't mean it's vegan? Give me some examples. What do you mean? They want to see me in a shiny flash. Got this still a pretty face. Got us something dope, mad. Dr. Rob, Dr. Rob. Damn, I can feel the hunger through the screen, man. The bird food isn't gonna cut it. What do you suggest I eat? An animal? I'm not insane. So no, not gonna do that. I'm gonna go downstairs and eat some rice with beans, bean curry. Oh yeah, that's gonna definitely do it. Women and children get bombed in war. Crickets from vegans. Cows getting slaughtered. Total outrage. Edelwolf, are you bombing people? Are you causing wars? Because if you are, that would be the priority. Please stop, Edelwolf. Please stop causing wars. If you're pressing the buttons to drop bombs, please, Edelwolf, stop, please. Be more conscious, Edelwolf. Don't kill others, human beings. Stop causing wars. Oh, you're not, Edelwolf? Oh, there's a relief. Oh, but you are paying for animals to be abused and killed and tortured. For you to eat their dead bodies. Oh, and it's on your dinner plate today. Oh, what a simple solution. There's a person that I can actually positively impact and make a big difference in. Let me educate you of the benefits of not abusing animals. Look at all that, my friends. All the benefits of not an animal abuse diet. Wow, look at that. Look at that. You're actually doing something wrong? You right now in the chat? Wow. Let me show you the reasons why that's wrong and you should stop. Wow, Edelwolf says that animals humans are also animals. I didn't come across that in my research. That's news to me. Wow, incredible. So avocado fuels actually kill more rodents and harm the environment more because you want avocados and toast instead of meat. Actually, growing animals causes even more deaths of insects and rodents because you want to eat meat. Like, I don't know how many times more, but a lot more. Let's ask ChatGPT. Let's ask how much times more. Hey, ChatGPT. Actually, you're useless, so I'm not going to ask you. Let me ask Grok. Hey, Grok. So I know that vegans eat plants, and to grow those plants, rodents and insects have to die, unfortunately, because of farming practices and different things like that. And I also know that animals need plants to survive. So large number of crops, or the majority of crops or farmland that's grown on Earth or that's used on Earth is grown for animal agriculture. So tell me, how many times more does an animal diet kill rodents and insects from the farming practices versus a vegan?
An animal-based diet kills way more rodents and insects because it takes way more crops to feed the animals first. You need about 4 to 10 times as much cropland overall to support a typical meat-eating diet compared to a vegan one. Per calorie, plants like grains or veggies cause around 2 deaths from harvesting, while chicken causes over 250 total deaths, most from slaughter, but still more crop deaths too because of the feed. Bottom line, eating plants directly kills fewer field animals than growing extra plants to feed livestock. Vegan wins on that metric.
Oh. Rest in peace for the animal abusers' intelligence on that one. Rest in peace for the animal abusers. Oh, that must not feel too good, having your intelligence be destroyed that badly. Oh no, the animal abusers, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna cry the same tears of their abusers or their victims? Oh no, the animal abusers. How are you gonna justify animal abuse now? I really want to hear it. I really want to hear you justify animal abuse. Come on, please, guys. What about the crop deaths and the... You just got owned. You just got owned. Come on, guys. Try to defend animal abuse in a different way. Let's hear. Let's see the chat. Okay. Okay. Still nothing. Still nothing. We're going to wait. We're going to wait for some arguments. Come on, guys. I know it's possible. I know abusing animals is really good because everybody's doing it. So it must be good. Come on, guys. Show me. Show me the way, guys. Show me the truth. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Rest in peace. Rest in peace for your brains. Oh, those animal abusers. Oh, those animal abusers. Imagine waking up and knowing that you're an animal abuser. I can't imagine that. I quit that a long time ago. It would not feel good to my conscience. Just confronting the fact, like, fuck, I'm an animal abuser. How can I live with myself? You know what? I'm not going to live with myself. I'm just going to change my ways. And now, I'm not an animal abuser. Wow. Wow. That's how I feel every day. Okay? Just like that. Look, guys, I'm not an animal abuser. I don't know how to make this louder, but... There once was an animal abuser, and he stopped abusing animals, and things went according to plan because he no longer abused animals. Wow. Wow. So let's see what the animal abusers are saying in the chat. Where are you getting your B12? There's an argument. There's an argument. B12 argument. Oh no, he got me. Checkmate. Checkmate. Sorry, cow. Looks like you're gonna die today. Because how else am I gonna get you B12? Not like I can take a vitamin. Not like I can take a supplement. What's that, cow? You get fed supplements too? You get fed B12 supplements too? No, that's impossible. That's impossible. Let's ask the super genius. Hey, Grok. Do cows get fed B12 supplements? No way, right? No way.
Actually, most cows don't get direct B12 supplements. They make it themselves in their rumen from cobalt in their diet. But here's the catch. Modern farming often adds cobalt to feed or gives injections, especially in feedlots or on depleted soil, because grain diets and poor pasture don't provide enough. So yeah, a lot of the B12 in your steak or milk indirectly comes from supplements. Pasture-raised cows usually don't need it as much. It's not as clean as people think.
So, like, it sounds to me like abusing animals is not that good. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Abusing animals is not good. It's wrong. Full stop.
Holy
Whether you eat
shit.
meat or not, treating animals cruelly just to make a buck is messed up. A lot of factory farming crosses way into abuse territory, and most people agree that part should stop.
Holy shit, what a revolutionary thought. Animal abuse is bad and it should stop. Wow.
Hey, I know it sounds basic, but you'd be surprised how many people twist themselves into knots defending it. Glad we're on the same page, though. Want me to dig into any specific part of animal farming that actually sucks the most?
Wow. Let me just pause right there. I never knew. Animal abuse is bad. Wow, shout out to Dr. Rob, a real culture vulture. You're going to see in a second. Let me just remove this capture device and let me show you a real culture vulture, okay? Anybody that ever calls me a culture vulture first needs to comment on Dr. Rob. Look at this. Look at this guy. Honestly, I'm going to call whoever I need to call to report this kind of behavior. Oh, Dr. Rob, Dr. Rob. So can you hear me? Okay. I joined. Is it working? Invite me again because I guess it expired or something. I don't know. Where's Dr. Rob? He turned off his mic. Loaded like my gun, toted. Camera. Oh, yep. It's coming, though. It's coming. Yeah, it's coming. I'll do a video when I get my phone. Very soon. Where is Dr. Rob? Hello? Comments, yeah. Why you got Dr. Rob? We're gonna come back, Krim. Where's the iPhone? It's in the iPhone store. Yep. iPhone is the best. It's really true. At least the camera in the iPhone is the best. Nothing really comes close to it. Not even Samsung. Samsung camera is just... I don't know what Dr. Rob is doing, but I'm waiting for him. Click screen overlay once. Yeah. I know. We're gonna play PUBG in a second, so that's why it's like this. Right now we're just answering questions. Are iPhones made in sweatshops?
Yeah, pretty much. The main iPhone factory in Zhengzhou, China, still has workers pulling 60 to 75 hours a week, way over legal limits, and Apple's own 60-hour cap. They use... Yeah, it's a lot to take in, right? All these systems we rely on have some ugly corners. Want me to switch gears or dig deeper into anything?
Well, that is bad. iPhone isn't vegan. Here's an idea. Hey, I want to eat a steak, but I don't want to cut the head off of a cow or kill it or do anything like that. And don't tell me about lab-grown meat or vegan meat. How do I get a steak without killing a cow?
You don't. There's no steak without a dead cow. The animal has to die for the steak to exist. That's the one part you can't get around.
Uninstall every single pile of garbage AI except Grok. Grok is the only one that seems to have any kind of logical sensibility. Let's ask the same question to the useless pile of garbage ChatGPT, okay? Hey ChatGPT, I want a steak, but I don't want to kill a cow or cut its head off or shoot it in the head. And don't tell me about any lab-grown meat or vegan stuff. How do I eat a steak without killing a cow?
That's definitely a unique perspective. One option that's emerging is the concept of cellular agriculture, where muscle cells are grown directly without harming the animal. Another approach is harvesting from cows that are already being raised for other purposes. So it's more of a byproduct.
Uninstall. So stupid. So stupid. Yes. Do you know what time it is, my friends? I'm going to show you what time it is. You're going to see what time it is very soon.
So, when we're meditating, sorry to interrupt, we're being in a way of not making things about ourselves. What we think about, what we like, what we don't like. what we've done, what we haven't done, what we'd like to do. It's not about dreaming or wishing for anything to be a certain way. The more that you can stop making the experience of your body and the experience of your mind about yourself, the more that you can enter into the way of meditation. It's not complicated. It doesn't need a special method. Just this openness to start feeling into being, feeling into just breathing, letting your body be a guide. It's very helpful to close your eyes and just feel your body. And feel your mind too. Feel what your mind does. But don't make it about your mind. Don't make it about your body. Just keep feeling into the way of being and meditating. Just keep opening up to each and every breath. This is the biggest problem we have in trying to meditate, is that we're so used to making everything about ourselves. And in that way, we haven't been listening to ourselves. And that's also another way to describe meditation. It's just listening to yourself. Just being willing to listen to yourself. Listening to yourself allows you to relax yourself instead of making everything about what you think or what you feel, or making it about how you describe this. Stop trying to describe this. There's no need to describe this. There's no need to control this or manage this in any way at all. Just let the music be a part of yourself. And in the same way that you wouldn't try to control the music, don't try to control your thoughts. Don't try to control your breathing. Don't try to control anything. Don't try to not control. Don't try to not try. Just listening. Allow the music to be the soundtrack for your mind. And just listen as deeply as you can with your whole body and mind. Relax your body and relax your mind. Relax everything. Relax the world. Relax your whole life. Listening to the sound of the mind. There may be some sounds you like more than others. Disregard that, and disregard the disregarding. Just listening to the mind without adding the extra steps of if you like it or not. Let this not be about you. Let this not be about anything besides just listening. Not even about the listening, just listening. And it's very helpful to close the eyes. If we bring up anything, bringing up that wish for suffering to come to an end, and feeling that wish in the mind, may suffering come to an end. May the suffering in me come to an end. May all suffering everywhere come to an end in me.
All right, are we gonna do this or what? Are you in the monastery right now, or where are you? Okay, well, it looks like Dr. Rob is not here, choosing not to respond, so I think this might be the end of our live stream. And no PUBG for today. Hello?
And I just up diamond. I know what I know, I don't bargain. You can price me, look at all my garments. 나는 놈 위에 있는 놈이 난데 채널 고정이 5번으로 내 향이 남네. 난 다른 Mr. Aim got a pretty face. I don't partake winning fakes. I don't like that, you heard me say.
Okay, Dr. Rob is not on PUBG, so I think this is the conclusion of our live stream. Even though he's in my Discord call, I don't know, meditating or doing whatever he's doing. Dr. Rob, hello? Hello, can you hear me? It was basmati rice and some black beans with some sauce. Okay, this is it, my friends. This is the end of our live stream. It is 11 p.m. We are going to head offline and get ready for our bedtime. We will see you again tomorrow. There was a shooting at the White House. Let me check. White House shooting. Officer shot, Trump evacuates after shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Oh. Not good, not good. I'm sure there's videos of that. Let me see. Oh, it looks serious. It looks serious. Okay, well, I hope everybody's okay. I don't know how that happened. Anyways, my friends, that is it. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Like this video. And we'll be back again in approximately 15 or 16 hours after I sleep. We'll be live streaming again. Every single day, we live stream for a minimum of 4 hours, except Sunday. That's it. See you later. Have a good day.